Hello everybody. We have a game with the white pieces against Fairhat 147, rated 1013. Let's see if we can get a Rui Lopez on the board. Let's move 2, Fairhat. You can do it. Okay, so he plays one of the worst possible moves in the game. And I think we've had this in one of our episodes. I don't know if it was this speedrun or the last one, but this move creates serious weaknesses on move 2 on the light squares. So we take this pawn, and if he takes our knight, he loses the game on the spot, which he does. Why? Because we give this check, and there's no good way to interpose this check, which means you lose the game. Why? Because if you play g6, we get in this check, which hits your rook. You only took a knight. I'm about to take a rook. Here we go. I take a rook. I'm threatening the knight. He protects the knight and this square. Now we have a hanging pawn. Also, we can just take the center. Oh, yes we can. The goal is to give this check with the knight being pinned, forcing the king up, then the queen here, and I mean now you can see why it's lost for black. You could start the mate with this, but that's not forcing, it's playing more for hope chess. If you want to do the mate properly, you should probably start with the check, even though the cage is enclosed and he has an escape square. Because if you do this, he could create an escape square. He can move his bishop. I don't know. He could put his queen here, right? Like he could do stuff. Okay, so now that he's here, you could take the pawn, but then you give him extra options. We don't care about material. We care about checkmate. So we're going to force him here, which looks terrible. And now if you give this check, he goes here and you don't... Well, you do have bishop here. And then he has to go here, and then here, and then here, and that's checkmate. Oh, that was easy. There might be more checkmates, like this, this. Well, no, that takes longer. So let's go for this checkmate. Now we force him back. And then here, and what is this? It's forced mate in like 15 moves. So you see why you don't just push the F pawn. Hold on. Okay, so we give him this check. He has nowhere to move his king. He has to put the pawn into block. And then when we take it, same story. He has to put the bishop to block, and it's checkmate with either the queen or the bishop, but bishop's cooler, so we do that. So this was a terrible game by my opponent. And when you make this move, it does support the center, but it weakens your king. That's the problem with the move. And it takes away the square from the knight. But the real problem is the weaknesses towards the king. If you were castled queenside here, this would not be such a bad move. It would not weaken your king, and it would protect your center. And sure, it takes away the square from the knight, but the knight can go somewhere else, right? Um, so we get a new opponent because that guy got stomped. So now we have black, and we're going to try to get a Pirc defense against Mom's bulgogi. I'm assuming that's some type of food, rated 1091. So we develop the knight and attack the pawn, provoking the knight out. Now we play g6 so we can develop our king side. And he goes bishop g5, a very common move. We go bishop g7, and let's see if he lifts the queen. Or plays f3. Both are normal ideas to castle queenside and create an attack on our king. There are lots of other moves, but... And these low-rated players love pushing e5 way too early before they're developed. It's probably not the best decision. However, if you take and take, we don't want to take his queen and develop the rook, right? Because that would benefit him. So we're going to do the move we've seen before. We retreat our knight, adding 2 attackers to the dark squares in one move. And now his pawn is hanging, so he has to do something. He takes. Now we take back. We have pressure, a good bishop, nicely placed knight. I mean, it's not nicely placed, but it will go back to where it came from and be nicely placed. He develops his queen, which seems odd because it's kind of fake and superficial with the pressure he's putting. Also, the knight wants that square. Also, he undefends his central pawn. If I take that pawn, I'm not convinced he has anything. He's going to long castle. Then I'll go back. He'll develop a piece. He'll jump my knight in the center. I should be fine there. Yeah, I don't think he's well, developed enough to do tricks to me here, to hurt me. So he does long castle as expected. I would give up this knight if it ruined his pawn structure, even though you kind of want that bishop. But since the queen can take and get the diagonal, let's put it back in the hole. He might go bishop c4 to try to coordinate on my king. Predictable. But after knight in the center, or castling would be a great move and it defends. But knight in the center defends and is going to pick up one of his bishops, so I'm prioritizing this. It also, we need to move it anyway because of our light square bishop, so we might as well get this move in for free. We can castle next. He does have checks. We keep that in mind, but we need to develop our other knight anyway, so we freed up the square. In that case, he would move his queen, and maybe we don't pick up the bishop immediately, but we're getting our pieces out and we're safe and we're up a pawn in that line. So he moves the queen, defending the bishop. Interesting. I feel like it's suspicious still. If we hit his bishop and his bishop goes back and we double attack, yeah, this is a weird move because it blocks the dark squares for the bishop. So I'm going to throw in h6, a move I might otherwise play anyway to hit the bishop for free. This is defended, and I might be able to pick up a free piece either with the fork or by deflecting the queen away from the defense of the light square bishop. He can always throw in the check, of course, but I'm improving my position and I might win the piece. Because where does he go? If he sacks, actually sack, queen, rook over, painting the knight, castle. He can't play a 4 to win the knight because the queen's in the way, so knight in wins some tempo, wins the tempo. But I guess queen here forces the queen trade. That's interesting though, I guess, if you're going to lose the bishop anyway. But instead, he goes for this pin, but the rook is protected, so it's not a pin. And now you just, when I hit this, you can't take because this hangs. Or I could take this first in either case. But I'm going to take this because it hits the queen. Although he could throw in a check, which hits the king. Also, if he takes this, there's winning the queen. I'm going to throw it in just because of all the tricks it comes with. Sure, he can give the check. I don't care because I'm up a piece with a winning position against an 1100, and he loses the queen. And that's why I took with the pawn. It'll end the game quicker, and that's it. We never had to touch our queen side. We never had to castle. All we needed was our king's knight and our king's bishop, and that's it. We just used two minor pieces to outmaneuver and outplay our opponent, which is kind of crazy. One of the many reasons why you always play king b1 when you castle queenside. It doesn't matter the context of the position, and this is one of the most fascinating things I've seen by the engine when I analyze games, is my own games. When I'm opposite side castled, even when I'm attacking, or even when there's no bishop that can reach my king, even when the king, it looks like there's no way they can get to it, it's not in danger, the engine still recommends king b1 as the best move. even though I can't see a line where that would even like be relevant, somehow it's still the best move. So keep it in mind. King B1 and King B8, very good moves. Just play them. If you're ever not sure what to do, you cannot go wrong with that move. So um, maybe we go again. Or maybe we just get a short video this time. We already had 2 games. And, okay, 8 center pawn, 98%, so there's nothing to look at here. We'll keep this video short. We'll keep climbing when it's going to get more difficult for sure. 1500s and up. So, I'll see you there. Good luck in your chess.